Okay, let's just jump right in. I want you to picture this. The deadliest assassin in history. I mean, the kind of guy the entire underworld is terrified of.
The boogeyman, basically.
Exactly. Now, imagine he falls in love, retires, opens a little neighborhood convenience store, and gets, well, chubby. We're talking strictly dad bod territory.
It honestly sounds like a setup for a comedy sketch, but you've just perfectly described Sakamoto Days.
And this isn't some small niche title we're talking about. This thing has become an absolute juggernaut.
Oh, for sure.
So that's our mission for this deep dive. We're going to break down the story for anyone who's been, living under a rock, and then really analyze why this chubby assassin story is peaking right now in February 2026.
To really get the hype, you have to start with the protagonist, Taro Sakamoto. He used to be the ultimate hitman, just the best.
Used to be.
Right. Then he met Aoi, he fell for her, quit the game entirely, and now they have a daughter, Hana. He's just the soft-spoken guy trying to keep Sakamoto's store afloat.
But that retired hitman trope, it always has a catch, doesn't it? The past never really stays in the past.
Never. And in this case, a mysterious villain named X, or Slur, puts a 1 billion yen bounty on Sakamoto's head.
1 billion yen.
Yep. So suddenly his quiet little town is flooded with all these elite assassins trying to cash in.
Okay, so far that sounds like a standard action setup. But here's where it gets really interesting, and it's something all the sources point to. The golden rule.
Yes, because his wife, Ai, didn't just ask him to retire. She made him promise one thing.
No more killing.
That one constraint changes everything. Sakamoto has to neutralize these top-tier threats people actively trying to murder him and his family without killing a single one of them.
It's like playing a first-person shooter on Pacifist mode, but with the difficulty cranked up to 1,000. And he's not doing it alone, is he? The staff at his store is eclectic.
To put it mildly, I mean, he's stocking shelves alongside Shin, a former subordinate who is a literal telepath. He can read minds. And Lu, the daughter of a Chinese mafia boss who's a master of the drunken fist style.
So a triad member and a mind reader are handling the cash register? That's a dynamic I can get behind. But let's get into the why. Why is this specific mix hitting so hard right now?
I think it's the creativity in the combat, because he can't just pull out a gun. The choreography has to get inventive. He uses his environment. He uses the store inventory.
Oh, I was reading about that. His whole philosophy is weapon performances for third rates. There's a scene where he's fighting with, like, stiffened receipts and barbecue tongs.
Exactly. It forces the action to be smarter. It's like Jackie Chan meets high-stakes anime. And then there's that unique physical mechanic the series has.
You mean the skinny gimmick.
Yeah. Sakamoto is usually round and, unassuming, but when a fight gets really intense, he burns so many calories that he instantly slims down to his prime assassin form.
The ultimate diet plan. Fight for your life, get skinny. But he bounces right back to being chubby after.
Almost immediately. It's a great visual bag, but it also tells the audience, okay, things are getting serious now. And that whole formula, the comedy, the action, it's working globally. The anime from TMS Entertainment just dominated 2025.
The numbers on that were wild. Top 10 on Netflix in Indonesia for 11 straight weeks. And it did huge numbers in France, Brazil, the U.S.
And that momentum is why we're talking about it now. Season 2 is already in production, but the immediate hype is all about the live-action movie. It's coming out April 29th.
Directed by Yuichi Fukuda, and they cast Ren Meguro from Snowman as Sakamoto.
Which is a massive casting choice. It shows they're not just making a quick adaptation, they're aiming for a true blockbuster. And it really speaks to a shift, I think, in what we want from action stories. We've had a decade of these gritty, dark revenge tales, Think John Wick.
Right, where the motivation is always vengeance. You killed my dog, now everyone has to die.
Sakamoto Days just flips that on its head. The motivation here is love and peace. This is a man fighting the most dangerous people in the world just so he can maintain a normal, kind of boring life.
He doesn't want to rule the underworld. He just wants to protect his family and his shop.
Which brings us to a really interesting final thought to wrap this all up.
Look for it.
In a genre that's so often defined by body counts, by how many people the hero takes down, Sakamoto Days asks a different question. It suggests that for a violent man, taking a life is actually the easy part. The hardest thing to do is preserve a life, especially when you have all the power to take it.
So it leaves you wondering, is that no-kill rule really a weakness? Or is the discipline it takes to keep that promise actually what makes him the strongest of all?
Exactly.
That's a fascinating way to look at it. Strength isn't just about lethality, it's about control. Thanks for joining us on this deep dive.